Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagide Imo TV. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Buhari shelves FEC, that's the Fed, appoint Abiba Lawal as SA on policy. El-Rufai writes, Buhari says terrorists creating parallel government in Kaduna. FG, resident doctors in talks over demands concerning strike. When ministers, NSA, IGP, CDS, others converge for 2023 election security management. Governor Akeredolu, there was a mix-up in the names of terrorists released by Nigeria Army. 2 more ISWAP terrorists arrested over Owo attack. Lagos police demand the army produce the soldiers who killed inspector. On entertainment news, another filmmaker or 2 in Jama is dead. FG dismisses report of shortage of passport booklets, that's from the foreign scene. And finally, Team Nigeria produces best performance as 2022 Commonwealth Games ends. Now the news in detail. The weekly Federal Executive Council FEC meeting was on Wednesday shelved. The presidency was silent on reasons why the meeting, used essentially for policy formulation for the ministers, departments of agencies, MDAs of the federal government, did not hold. A top presidency official who spoke to Business Day said it is not the first time such a meeting was shared. Business Day checks revealed that despite the failure to convey the FEC meeting that effect, President Muhammadu Buhari spent most of the day in the office receiving visitors and attending to other state matters. The president had earlier in the day received the governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, who also doubles as the Director General of the All Progressive Congress APC Presidential Campaign Organization. The president also appointed former Permanent Secretary, Ecological Project Office EPO, Abiba Lawal, as a special advisor on policy and coordination. A statement by Godbashir, the presidential spokesman, noted that Lawal had successfully supervised a team that ensured management, identification, planning, and execution of projects to mitigate serious ecological challenges across the country, with its commendable result before our retirement. And to the next story coming from Kaduna State, terrorists are consolidating their grip on communities in Kaduna with a parallel government and permanent operational base in the northwestern states near Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Governor Nasir El-Rufai has told President Muhammadu Buhari Premium Times can exclusively report. Mr. El-Rufai warned the president of the terrorist consolidation in late July memo signed by Premium Times. The terrorists belonging to Ansaru al-Mus Mina Bilad al-Sudan and Ansaru for short are believed to have moved to Brenungwari in Kaduna State in 2012 when they broke away from Boko Haram. According to intelligence report and human sources consulted in further reporting for this story, the terrorists that formed Ansaru were responsible for some of the high-profile attacks claimed by Boko Haram before the splits. Such attacks included the UN building bombing of August 2011 and the kidnap of some foreigners. According to the sources, Ansaru pledged allegiance to Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, Kim in 2020, and is responsible for many of the high-profile abductions as well as armed attacks on the police in Kaduna State. But researchers and negotiators with an understanding of the working of the terrorists told Premium Times that the collaboration of the terror groups, including the original Boko Haram, also called JAS, ISWAP, and SARU and bandits, is evolving. In 2021, 1,192 people lost their lives in Kaduna State due to banditry, terrorism, communal clashes, violent attacks, and reprisals. In the first 6 months of 2022, 645 people lost their lives in church and such circumstances across the state, the government said. Moving on the world news this hour. The federal government has commenced discussions with the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors over the demands of the doctors. The Publicity Secretary of NAD, Dr. Yusuf Alpha, disclosed this in an interview with our correspondent. The resident doctors had, on July 30th, 2022, issued a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to implement all the agreements it had with the association, or it will embark on an indefinite strike. The doctors are asking the federal government to expedite actions on the payment of the newly reviewed medical residency training fund to enable its members to meet up with the closing date of examination registration as advertised by the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. They are also demanding the immediate implementation and payment of the new hazard allowance and arrears as contained in the circular from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission. NAD is seeking the payment of the skipping arrears for 2014, 2015 and 2016. To deserving members, the immediate payment of consequential adjustment of minimum wage to members who have been deprived since it was implemented several years ago. From that story, we go straight to another story from the security angle. In an effort to ensure each free, fair and credible elections in 2023, the Nigeria Police Force has begun the training of over 400 officers on election security management. The officers drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja will undergo a comprehensive training workshop under a train-the-trainer model in which they are empowered to escalate and cascade the lessons through the organizational chain by offering the same to other officers. While declaring the training open in Abuja last week, Thursday, the Inspector General of Police (IGP) Usman Al-Kadibaba disclosed that the election security management model will be introduced in the curriculum of police training schools. Explaining the rationale behind the training with the theme, the 2023 general elections enhancing national security capacity for a secure and credible electoral process in Nigeria, the IGP said. Mindful of its critical role in the election security value chain, and conscious of the need to continually broaden its professional knowledge and operational capacity with a view to closing the knowledge gap that could inhibit the optimal delivery of your election security mandate. The leadership of the Nigeria Police Force found it expedient to expose personnel to tailor-made training ahead of the 2023 general elections. This informed the concept of this workshop.
The better. And
the 2023 general election is approaching. Political activities have since commenced at various quarters of the country. The Nigeria Police Force feels senior officers need to be trained on more skills on how to manage the elections. The aim is to ensure the elections are rancor-free. In Kano, police officers from the Northwest converged to participate in a workshop titled The 2023 General Elections Enhance National Security Capacity for a Secure and Credible Electoral Process in Nigeria.
The essence is to prepare police officers so as to be able to manage security challenges before, during, or after the elections.
We still have about 6 months to the elections, but the earlier we're able to do it, the better. And most importantly, this one we are doing it for officers at a level that they can cascade it down. They can bring it down to, the area command level, to the divisional police officer. Training for something. So that's why we are starting early.
I believe this workshop is going to bring a milestone to ensuring a credible election from 2023, signaled by the past 2 elections recently held, that of Ekiti and Osun.
As the elections approach, there are loads of expectations from the police. But police officials are optimistic. With the recent outcome of Ekiti and Osun State elections, the 2023 general elections would be credible, free and fair.
As the news of published names of those who carried out the Owo massacre circulated, the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, has disagreed with the published names. Recall that the army earlier published 5 names of those suspected to have carried out the attack, but Governor Akeredolu pointed out that one of the enlisted, who goes by the name Idris Ojo, was not part of those who carried out the attack. Ojo was among the names published by the army, but incidentally, Idris Ojo was part of the inmates who had escaped the Kuje prison facility on July 5th, whereas the massacre had occurred since June 5th. Ojo, after his escape, went straight to his brother's house in Akure, where he stayed before he was rearrested, the governor said. The governor affirms that there was a mix-up in the names mentioned by the Chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Irabo, as Idris Ojo was number 14 in the wanted list of those who escaped the Kuje prison. The reason for the mix-up, according to the governor, was because by the time Idris Ojo was rearrested in his brother's house, he was kept in custody, as at the time the perpetrators of the Owo massacre were held in custody, hence the mix-up. The governor has, however, urged citizens to remain calm and not to hesitate in giving useful information to security operatives when needed. Still on insecurity, two members of terrorist group, the Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP, Al-Qasim Idris and Abdul Alim Idris, have been arrested over their involvement in the June 5th attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State. Al-Qasim Idris and Abdul Alim Idris were arrested at Omialafara, Ose, LGA of Ondo State by operatives of the military and Department of State Services, DSS, Defense Headquarters said in a statement by Major General Jimmy Akwe, Director, Defense Information. One of the suspects, Abdul Alim, alongside other high-profile ISWAP commanders, had also previously coordinated attacks on military targets in Okene LGA, Kogi State, resulting in casualties. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Leo Irabo, at a briefing on Tuesday announced the arrest of a ISWAP member, Idris Abdul Malik Omeza, aka Bin Malik, at Eka, LGA, Kogi State, on August 1st, 2022, over the deadly attack on the Catholic Church. Omeza was arrested alongside other ISWAP members identified as Momo Otohu Abubakar, Aliyu Yusuf Itopa, and Awal Ishak Onimisi in a joint operation by the military and operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS. The CDS said preliminary investigation revealed that Omeza was a mastermind of the terror attack on the Owo Catholic Church. He was also involved in the attack on the police station in Adavi local government area, Kogi State, on 23rd June 2022, during which a policeman was killed and weapons scattered away. The terrorist attack on worshippers at the church claimed over 40 lives, with many people injured. From that story, we'll go to Lagos State. The Nigerian Army has been asked by the Lagos State Police Command to show the soldiers who executed Inspector Monday Orukbe after torturing him to death. The command issued the demand on Wednesday in response to a statement made by Major General Umar Musa regarding the altercation last week. Vehicles were halted by police officers at the CCECC gates on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway in order to make room for a construction firm truck. Dozens of employees from the military ordnance school were among the inconvenienced road users who complained about the delay. After Orukwe fired a shot, the soldiers later opened fire on police squad, which included an ASP, 3 inspectors, and a sergeant. 2 inspectors and some weapons were taken, and they were then taken to the Ojo cantonment and beaten there. Musa, the outgoing GOC of 81 Division, claimed that a policeman accidentally hit him in the ear while firing at a soldier, not only missing his vital organs. He insisted in a statement that the phrase was not an accurate portrayal of the incident. The fact remains, according to Udain, that around 30 Nigerian Army pirates attacked 5 police officers for stopping cars in the trade fair area. The second inspector of the troops attempted to attack, fired a single shot into the air after the soldiers had brutally attacked the ASP leading the squad, removed his magazines, and kidnapped 2 inspectors with their firearms. Moving on forward to entertainment story on the sad one. Nollywood filmmaker Otu Njame III is dead. The director of Inhibition 2019 was said to have died on Tuesday night following reports of high blood pressure. The death of Njame, who was in his early 30s, is coming barely a day after the death of the director of Ebony Life's Blood Sister, Biyi Bandele, a renowned movie critic and film specialist. Hosseini Shohabu confirmed Njame's death on the Instagram page on Wednesday. Sharing a picture of the deceased, Shohabu wrote, "He sent me a formal invitation for his much-anticipated Sweet Mother concert yesterday and followed it up with a call for my attendance and coverage of the event at 1 p.m. yesterday. The show holds tomorrow. By this morning, we heard that the filmmaker of Inhibition fame, Otu Njame III, is dead. Otu is in his early 30s, reportedly died early today, shocking, tragic, and devastating. To know that he joined us yesterday to pay tribute to B on the Elite Water platform for creative filmmaking. Cry. Johnny Well, Otu Njame, you were too good to die. Safe, bro." From the story, we go to the foreign story / Nigerian story. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has dismissed report of shortage of passport booklets across the nation. Aregbesola made a disclosure on Wednesday during the rollout of enhanced e-passport and commissioning of the Passport Production Center in Port Harcourt, which covers Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, and River State. The minister described those spreading news of passport shortage as unpatriotic and unscrupulous Nigerians, insisting that the enhanced e-passport is a product of the latest technology which cannot be seen in most advanced countries. He said his ministry is leaving no stone unturned in the quest in making passports available for Nigerians who desire it, warning passport applicants against patronizing scammers. Aregbesola will reveal that online application of the enhanced e-passport can only take 3 to 6 weeks for the passport to be processed, assured that the federal government was working to remove the bad eggs from the immigration services. And to the last story that concludes the world news this hour. Team Nigeria on Sunday, July 7th, built on the 14 medals garnered on Saturday as they won 3 additional gold and 1 bronze medal in athletics to produce their best ever performance in Commonwealth Games history. At the time of press, Team Nigeria in the 7th position had won 12 gold, 8 silver and 14 bronze medals.
Continue the fine form from the World Championships. Amusan ran a new games record
at the 2014 Games in Glasgow, Scotland. Yesterday, reigning and world champion Toby Loba Ayomide Amusan did not disappoint our team fans as she made another history as the first Nigerian track and field athlete and the second in history to successfully defend the Commonwealth Games 100-meter hurdles title. In another breathtaking performance, the 25-year-old also set a new 12.30 seconds games record on the way to winning the event's gold. Amusan wasn't done as she joined the women's 4x100-meter relay quartet to win her second gold medal of the day and Team Nigeria's first ever Commonwealth Games gold in the event. Team Nigeria women's 4x100-meter quartet of Toby Amusan, Favor Ofili, Rosemary Chukuma, and Grace Nwakocha achieved the feat in record-breaking fashion, running 42.10 seconds to break the barely 1-month-old 42.22 seconds African record set in Oregon, USA at the World Athletic Championship. Amusan started the historic run with a brilliant first leg before handing over to Ofili, who ensured Nigeria maintained the advantage before giving the baton to Chukuma, the individual 100-meter finalist. She then ran the call perfectly and added it over to reigning Nigeria 100-meter queen, Nkocha, who maintained the advantage despite a threat by Great Britain's anchor leg runner, Darlene Naita, to bring home Team Nigeria's first women's 4x100-meter relay gold. So the news concludes for this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari shells FEC, that's the FEC meeting, appoints Habiba Lawal as SA on policy. El Rufai writes Buhari says terrorists creating parallel government in Kaduna State. FG resident doctors in talks over demands concerning the doctor strike. We also brought to you Governor Akeredolu. There was a mix-up in the names of terrorists released by Nigerian Army. And the sports that wraps it up for today. Team Nigeria produces best performance as 2022 Commonwealth Games end. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagade Imo TV. Kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell, select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page for you to enjoy all of our broadcasts. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22 for advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and function. Please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.